I have to leave. I have to leave for Flamborough in a moment, so I am going to run through 15 minutes of yearlings. Then I have to go to Flamborough. Maybe I'll finish the list off when I get to Flamborough. First on the list is Ailsund. Ailsund, I asked Jason pulling up how was Ailsund, because James went with her last week. She was a powerhouse. And Jason had gone with her a while. Said, how was he? He give me the old double thumbs up. So I assume she trained really well. She was behind me. I forget who I had up front. But Jason was very happy with her. Anteros, that's a bone of contention with me. People keep dumping shares of Anteros. It's your money. You can do whatever you want. But because Anteros made a break, he was on the line now. It's the first time with a head pull on maybe 3 days ago. What happens is horses will get a little tired. Then when you have a head pull on them for the first few times, they'll lay up on it, you know, just being a little frustrated. And that's exactly what he did. He made a break in the last turn, but looked great before that. I don't know why anybody would think there was anything wrong with Anteros. First day ever for Hobbles being on. I said, we got to build some confidence on this horse, get his confidence back up. He just made a little break, and then he went a mile perfectly. Mile in about 38, 39, and then we went another half a mile and he made a break in the far turn. Not really a big deal. Arctic Force was a little tired. I picked him off pretty easy with Fusspot, but Arctic Force is a big, heavy colt with flip-flops on an icy track. He was a bit of a fish out of water when I moved Full Fussy off his back. She wasn't long tackling Arctic Force, but reversed the situations and put flip-flops on Fusspot. And normal, she was an Arctic Force, and it might have been a totally different outcome. Certainly not Arctic Force's fault. He trained well. Here's a horse that really wowed a lot of people, Beach Boutique. Beach Boutique, you know, and we all know, this is the thing. One of our clients, a friend of mine, sent me a message, said, you know, is somebody going to drive Beach Boutique so we can get a look at her? Listen, it's February. All right, and the horses that we know have talent, they don't need to show it every week. In fact, I don't want them to show it every week. I don't want them to, as Blair put it last summer, be on their toes every week. There's no need of it, so it won't happen. Some weeks they'll be coasting along, putting in miles, putting in work, and today Beach Boutique did a lot more. They cut her, and Mario drove her, cut her loose, turned her loose, and really showed her off, and she looked fantastic. Another horse looked great was Beach Bum BB. Jason never driven her. She wanders. If you guys notice Beach Bum BB, she'll drift in, she'll drift out, she'll wander a bit. So if you don't know her, you know, once you put her in gear, she's like most horses. She's straight away. But when you got her idling, as I would call it, when you're idling with the filly, she wanders a bit. And I know I ran into Jason too. I made a break with Watch Ave. He was just trying to pace too hard in the icy track and made a break. And I interfered with Jason, and I knew it was him. I couldn't do anything. He had to go way out the outside around me. She looked great, though, and intelligent, obviously, very smart for her not to get too wound up when I was clearly making a break and drifting out, and she had to go way out around me. Very smart and intelligent filly. I love this filly, and she looked good again today. Horse that looked great and is looking great, now starting to make some real strides. Bend Over. Bend Over raced good, or trained good again today. Now, this horse, he is on the watch list for castrations just because he's a little stubborn little bugger, but at the same time he's doing his work well and he's getting better every week. We'll give him a pass, but the first time he doesn't get a pass, he will be a gelding. So Bend Over looked good today, did his work very, very well. No concerns, no complaints thus far, except he tries to strike sometimes, and he almost took one of the grooms out the other day. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's just a good judge of character. But he was good today. Bottle of Red, fantastic today. Really, really nice filly. This filly, you know, at this point in time of the year, when they look as good as you expect them to, really, it's hard sometimes to extrapolate that speed, that intelligence, that ability, and say, well, if they're this good now, how good will they be later? Every horse has a saturation point, right? They're not some beach somewhere, for the most part. None of them ever will be. There's only ever been one. So every horse tops out. They haven't topped out yet. And when I say something like, this could be any kind of horse, it could be. Could be a bad one. We've seen that with Linnea, McKinnon, Redwood again. These are horses that all haunt our dreams sometimes in regards to what they could have been and what they didn't end up being. Then you have horses on the other side of that coin. See you in Tuscany, Twinsburg, White Tiger, Lawmaker. So when I say a horse like Bottle of Red could be any kind of horse, she could. And we'll only know she's not that good a horse when she's not. And right now she is doing everything we're asking her to do. Another horse that looked good was Brush Cut. He got tired today, but Mark drove him all over the track, and he got a little tired out. Not the end of the world. As I said, it's not the end of the world when they get tired. I want to see what they do after they get tired. I wish he'd have fought on and drove through harder, but Brush Cut is not built for an icy track, and it was very icy today. Horse that did look great was Cabernet. James wanted to go with her specifically because a good friend of ours that worked for us, Johnny, he now works for Mark Stacy. Johnny still owns some shares in Cabernet and wanted to see how she went. She's a nice filly. She's legit. James was very happy with her. Canadian Titan, Mario said, you know, she's not as good as the top fillies yet, but come July, that might change. That was his quote today. Canadian Titan is gaining quickly and improving with leaps and bounds and looked very, very good today. Filly, I didn't get a chance to look at. I assume she went well. It was Capistrano. I didn't see her go. I don't know how well she looked. She's looked great every day since I put the harness on her, so I think she went good. But I need to go back and watch the video, same as you. Capistrano is a filly you're going to hear me talk quite a bit about over the next few months. Not because we're selling shares, just because I find her an intriguing filly. Different bred by Warwee Needy, out of a very good family, out of a half-sister to Mr. Feelgood. An impressive pedigree, but an impressive filly. And you'll hear me talk a lot about Capistrano over the next few months. Cheatin' Dixie, told you she'd make it back. We didn't train her for 3.5 and 4 weeks. She didn't look outrageous today. She looked good though, but she looked sound. And that's the most important thing, is that we gave her the appropriate amount of time for her knees to heal up and get over that. She was going through a rough period where her knees were bothering her. Shockingly enough, a Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe filly had bad knees. But it's a common affliction. A common affliction for that breed. Not a big deal. Certainly doesn't bother me at all. I've said that a number of times. She wants to be a good horse, and there's nothing slowing her down. If we can keep her sound, she's going to make it to the races. I'm sure of it this summer. Classic Con trained well. I didn't get a chance to see him. He was in the shuffle. Mario was very, very happy with him and has been very happy with him for a while. Classy Will grinding away, looked good again today. No easy trips for him apparently. He just kept coming and looked good. Looked really good. Compass Rose DC was good also. I noticed there was a driver change there. We had some driver irregularities today. Scott Ray was supposed to make it and couldn't. So we had to juggle with what we had. And Compass Rose DC, Gislin went with. He said she's a nice filly. Crazy Mission, I asked Danny to go with this colt. He looked great. Danny said, no, he's a very nice colt. Did everything right. Very happy with what I saw from him. A horse that really caught my eye today was Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. He looked good too. Go back and look at the video. He didn't win. I think he was 4th in the training set, but close and closing and looked good. Gislin went with him, I believe, and said he really liked him. Go back and watch his video. Very happy with him. Effusive made a break today. Not the only one. Lots of horses. Johan made a break also. Made 2 breaks. So Effusive got down in the deep stuff in the last turn and made a little break. I believe Jason was dawdling with him when he ran. But not the end of the world. Emerald Miss, I made a break with her. I think I made 2 breaks with her. 1 for sure. She's fast though. A few little shoeing changes coming for Emerald Miss. She's a powerhouse, this filly. She's going to need a hood. She can get a little warm. You'll hear in my commentary during the race. Now the reason we don't have the commentary live is the mic kept dropping. And it's too hard in the cold weather for me to stop, reach down, restart the mic, and start it back up. I can do it in the summer, warmer weather, but I couldn't do it today. So we had another mic that Curtis records and then lays the video over top. So it's like it was live, because it was, but it's laid on top of the video after. Not like last week where I literally sat in my bed afterwards, watched the videos, and did that. Actually, drop me a line, tell me which one you like. I know you guys like the live while it's on Facebook. It's tough this time of year to do that. Do you rather the commentary being laid on top of as if it was live, or do you like the commentary after where it is absolutely not live? I don't like that. Feel a little awkward talking about the sets after that, but it's up to you. Enjoying My Life was tremendous again today. Has been for quite a while. Enduring Strength made his trip back to the training circuit today. Made a couple little breaks, but that was expected for a number of reasons. And Jason was on him, so... Excellent Nation made a break today, but looked tremendous also. Danny loves this colt, and he is fast. Fox Valley Shazam made a break. A lot of breaks today with this track, and Nothing serious, but at the same time, have to be careful. Obviously, you don't want to hurt the horses, and they're going to make breaks, and they're going to have days where they're good and bad. No different if it was a muddy or a deep track in Florida. We had a little bit of a snowy track today. Fox Valley Shazam made a break. Film Fanatic Forevermore will be named Giddy Up Max. Giddy Up Max was good again today. Looked really, really good. Who went with Giddy Up Max? Gislin, I believe, went with Giddy Up Max. And he was good. I'll tell you a horse that was the biggest mover of the week by far. Go back and watch the videos. Forged in Fire. Told you guys to watch out for this Yankee Glide colt. This colt is impeccably bred. He is a sister to the mother of a Moticon Hanover. All three generations of this horse's family are good. They have good horses in all three. Really nice horse himself. I knew he'd figure it out, and man, oh man, he shouldn't have. Here's a horse, if a horse was going to slip, here's a horse with 5/8 shoes on and flip-flops on that track. He looked like he got a hold of it, and no one else did. He looked tremendous today. French Twist, acting up a little bit. We're going to make some equipment changes on old Twisty this week. He's going to get his act together real quick. He was gelded because of his attitude. He trots okay, but he's going to have to get he'd pull his pants up, so to speak. Old Twisty. Frontier Cruise was good. You could see he was tired on the end of it. Just put him on the front and used him hard. I said, hey man, he's a big horse in the snow. Just go easy. And he used up pretty hard today. But you could see how tough he was in finishing up the way he did. Tough horse. This is going to be a nice horse. I like him a lot. Fuss Pot. Backdoor old winning ways today. My goodness, she's a nice filly. Did everything just the way I wanted her to do it. James made a good point after. She was terrible for James last week. And when I cut her loose down the lane and really let her stretch into her hobbles, she popped her tail up. And he said, you know, he could see it pop up when we were pulling up. And he said, she might have tied up last week on me. He said, you know, you could tell, look at her tail. And we always look for that. You see a horse pop their tail up. A little uncomfortable. But she didn't pop it up at the start or at the half. She popped it up finishing up, which leads me to believe that she might have tied up a little weak last week a little bit, and there might be some residual. There may have been some residual muscle soreness. So Fuss Pot, I'm not going to take her blood and find out. We're just going to assume it was and carry on. Globe Trotting made a break today, but not really the same as the other horses. If you look where and why she made a break, you could see her shy away from the whip in front of her. She needs to stop doing that. We're going to have to put a martingale on her, which keeps her head down so she can't, because it's not that she runs, she throws her head and throws herself off balance and makes a break. Can't have her doing that. She's going to have to get used to horses in front of her and whips in front of her. So we're going to be working on that the next month or so. We'll put a martingale on her. Gold Watch didn't train today. He was castrated on Thursday. Good looking colt. This is the brother to Linnea. Not the sister, the brother to Linnea, but he's watching. So I think her attitude may have played a significant role in his castration, but he can get a little warm too. Wanted to nip that in the bud right away. Harness AM trained great. Danny went with her. She was in with the best bunch today. What I would consider a good cross section of the better horses today. There's small field. You know, Johan, Knockdown Dragout, Miss Mischief Maker, Harness AM, and Spirit of Dio. Take note. Spirit of Dio earned her way into that race. Hobbles were a little long on that track today. She made a break. And Harness AM looked very, very good. Havana Una Na made a break on James. Her hobbles were a little bit long. But she's got that long kind of loafy gait on her. I don't think she could get a hold of the track very good. Made a little break, recovered, and did everything right afterwards. That's every bit as important. Hometown Boys. I was inundated with, hey, what's wrong with Hometown Boys? Why was he bad today? What happened? Mario said he just got jammed up and threw his head and made a little, I assume, made a little break. He'll be fine. He's got to learn to do that stuff. You know, you can't just get a horse and jam everything in and say, okay, we need him to be smart. We need to show him how to train. We need to have him in sets. We need him to go fast. It's a process. It takes time. Just take your time and relax. It's February the 9th, I believe. A lot of time left yet. I'll Play It Alone looked great. Ricky went with him and he moved him a couple of times in the mile. Very happy with what I saw from that colt. Inland Beach, I was a little disappointed with Mark again. I told him, one move, that's what you're allowed. He came to the outside, and then he sat in the outside like he was going to grind away. This filly's an attacker. She's a sprinter. Can't do that with her. Jailhouse Master, not shockingly, made a break. Jailhouse Master's an okay horse, but he tries really hard, and I'm going to keep him around for a little while, see what shakes loose of Jailhouse Master. But I'll tell you what, whatever he can be, he will, because he's got the right attitude. Johan made a break today. I know exactly what he did. I saw a little blood on his ankle when he came in. Just touched himself in a couple of places. That frustrated him. The problem is that he gets his head low. Now, Knockdown, Dragout, and him both go with a really low head. I'm sure you've seen that. But Knockdown, Dragout drops her head into her head check. Johan lays into the head check. Two very, very different things. So Johan is going to have to learn that that is unacceptable, and we are going to put something in his mouth. He's not going to like it. He's going to flip out this week, because I know he hates when you add equipment to him. But he's a big enough boy to learn that he is not the boss, and he will do as he is asked, and he will be very upset for a few days as he wears that Crick Davis in his mouth. And I'm more apt to maybe put a brain cord on him too, just for a week, because I know what's going to happen. He's going to lean into that Crick Davis, and he's going to throw himself. So we're going to have to have a little counterbalance on both ends, the bottom and the top. So he'll be fine, though. Usually after 3 or 4 days, the horses get it pretty easy. And Johan's smart enough to get it. Just For Me and You trained good again today. Continues to look good, as does Knockdown, Dragout. Both these fillies. We got a strong contingency in Pennsylvania. Knockdown, Dragout looked very, very good today, as did Just For Me and You. Libero, Hanover. I still haven't got to go with this horse again. He is a nice-looking horse on the track. Trots beautifully. Very happy. We had some added stake payments to his thing. Paul had sent some messages in about staking for him. Again, very helpful information. We used it. Changed his staking program, and now it is up online. McPherson Thunder, wow. Sent him over. We were going to give him 2 weeks off. We castrated him. We were about to turn him out, and Mario said, why don't we fluoroscope him just to make sure there's nothing going on. We didn't think there was. Put him in the trailer. Took him to McMaster's. McMaster's clinic from our farm is not 15 minutes. Might be 13 at the most. Dropped the tailgate. He had jumped on his foot and ripped his leg open. Big gash in his leg. Take him in the clinic. They got to stitch him. I said, well, now that you got him TQ'd to stitch him, you better fluoroscope him like we were going to. Absolutely nothing wrong with the horse. Took him over to the clinic to find out there's nothing wrong with him. And when we got there, there's something wrong with him because he jumped on himself. Cut his leg, needed stitches. Just a mess, but it's skin. It'll heal. He might need 3 weeks instead of 2, which isn't a big deal. We really got to get the corks off this horse. They bother him. He was training great in the fall. As soon as we got the corks on, you could see he started to shorten his gait up. His 57-inch hobble, which looked like it might even be too short for him, looked like skipping ropes on him when the corks went on. He just wasn't comfortable. So he's going to need 3 weeks instead of 2. He'll heal 100%. Not really worried about it. Just frustrated. Marzank Hanover won her training set today and looked great doing it. Jason went with her. Really, really likes her. It's pretty hard not to like her. She's got a beautiful gait. She's well-bred. Just a really nice filly. Master Treaty. Second. What? Master Treaty looked good training today. Very happy with Master Treaty. McNugget. I hadn't talked to Danny, but he didn't tell me anything was wrong with McNugget. I ran into McNugget when I made a break in front of him with Path of Totality. She knuckled over. She made a really weird step, knuckled over, and I interfered with the horses behind me, and right behind me was Danny. Miss Brampton Beast looked great. Looked awesome again today. Always looks good, this filly. Miss Mischief Maker. I guess if we had an open trot today, she would have been the winner of the open trot. She beat Knockdown Dragout, although James was excessively conservative, as he should be, rightfully so. Teaching that filly a lot. Very happy with how Knockdown Dragout looked, but she couldn't quite get the Miss Mischief Maker. Muscle Chrome looked good. Actually, a little pinchy up front. We did this before. We had to blister this filly's knees. Her knees bother her. Not the end of the world. Lots do. But we need to be aware of that and cognizant of that. Not like Cheatin' Dixie's knees. Totally different. Just a little soreness. So we're going to blister them up. She might miss the next training session. Not a big deal at all. Nancy Allison. Come out of hiding today. Showed up, picked me off at the wire with Path of Totality, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Nancy Allison looked awesome today training. Need your opinion? Poor Colt. I said to him, he was coming on the outside, and I said, Colt, this filly has way more experience, and she's sharp. The other ones aren't. Just sit there. He literally sat beside me until she got tired in the last turn. So, anyway, we could talk about this for hours. It happened. It's not the end of the world. Need your opinion, train good. Olympic Hopeful looked awesome. Jason went with Olympic Hopeful. He couldn't say enough nice things about Olympic Hopeful. How she looked, how she felt. He said, who is this filly by? This is a nice filly. I said, well, you already trained 2 by the same sire. Not an Angel and Ivanka. And he said, oh, same sire. He said, Illinois. Really nice filly. This is his sister to Guilty with an Excuse, a horse that Amy and I had for about 6 months, a few years back. Overdue Mission. We talked about this in the outset. I was very disappointed in Mark today, not Overdue Mission. He knows she makes breaks. He put her in a position to make a break, and she did. She didn't want to. It took her a good 3 turns to finally make a break, but she did, and then she come back trotting afterwards. He will be suspended from Overdue Mission next week. I'm gonna have to go with her or James or some. I can't go with her if we wait. We'll see. Anyway, Overdue Mission trained great on Wednesday. Trained great last Saturday. The Wednesday before that. Today, she made a break, but he dared her to break, and she did. Path of Totality, knuckled over and made a break, but looked fantastic afterwards. She is biting that right line. She's got a splint right front. Got some stuff to work on with her, but no doubt in my mind, there'll be no problems with her. She's a really nice filly, really flashy filly, and I like everything about Path of Totality. Pine Creek started to look a little bit better. No breaks, no roughness. Really trotted well today. Very happy with what I've seen from Pine Creek. Really Blue Chip make a break in the first turn. I think James didn't have her thought out real good. She got goofing around and made a break in the first turn. Was lights out after that. Really, really good. Rockin' Out Loud made a break with flip-flops on in the last turn. But again, Jason had her down in the deep stuff. He'd already lost a Fusif during the day. Got to stay out of that deep snowy crap down along the rail. And this filly had flip-flops on and made a break. Rooney Blue Chip. I don't think Rooney Blue Chip made a break. Rooney Blue Chip might have been tired. I told Ricky just to go easy. He thought maybe moving him 3 times was an easy trip. I think we're going to have to discuss. I think the problem was our version of easy are 2 different things. Run Valiant looked good. Somebody said, oh, his gait doesn't look the same. Yeah, he's got hobbles on because he's going to need them. But his splint needs crowd. We're going to get that done Tuesday, hopefully. Run Valiant looked fine today. Looked good the other day also. Run Versatile running in today. No hobbles on, made a break. I think I was asking a bit much for this filly. I sent James out and he said, yeah, she ran in. Every time she ran in, she made a break. We had a Murphy blind ahead pull and trotting hobbles on her. Last time she trained good. That's what should have been on her today. But it wasn't. We can fix that next time. Sebastian Ray looked really, really good in his training. Has been good for a while, this horse. Quietly just a really fast colt, and I like everything about him. Certainly like the Sebastian K part after the other 2. Sebastian U jogged today. He was castrated on Thursday. No need to train him. I'm going to give him some time off too, that colt. Kick him out in the field for 3 weeks. Just looks like he's going through a big growth spurt, and he doesn't look comfy on the track. Not lame, not sore, just not comfortable. And I'm going to kick him out for a few weeks. Sometimes things happen, shockingly enough. Made a break today. He can't go the deep footing, this horse. Cannot get through the deep stuff. Not the end of the world. He just can't do it. Spend that money. Looked really, really good. Made a little break on James. He said she was in the turns, out in the straightaways. We're going to put a little bar. So we have normal shoes on her. Sometimes we go to flip-flops or egg bars. We're just going to put a pin right through the middle of her shoe. A bar through the middle of her shoe. What I would call pin bars. We're going to put a set of bars on her. See if she can stabilize and not wander in and out. Could be her stifles. Could be her feet. Could be a number of things. With trotters, start with their feet. And that's what we're going to do with Spend That Money. But she trained great today. Sunshine and Shade looked good again today. Mario was a little protective of him. He made a break on James last week. Looked great today. I jumped over Spirited Dio. She made a break. The hobbles were a little bit long, but looked very, very... She looked like she belonged in that company. Those were good fillies. And Spirit of Dio has probably come as far as anybody. I had said today the mover of the week was Forged in Fire. Spirit of Dio has been on the move for quite a while and looked good again today. Susie K did her work. Susie's okay. She's got a lot of work to do to be a racehorse by June, but she's doing it. We'll get her there. Talking Peter's in the sale on Tuesday. He's gone. 2 of a Kind Hanover, same thing, gone. Talking Peter, a bad attitude. And 2 of a Kind Hanover just doesn't look athletic. Nice filly, just doesn't look like she's going to make it as a 2-year-old. So how can I possibly ask our clients to invest money in a filly I don't think is good enough to be a racing 2-year-old? Probably not going to be a racing 3-year-old or not an effective one. By the time we have that discussion, you're in about $20,000 deeper. I can't have that, not on my watch. So 2 of a Kind Hanover needed to go. Trafalgar looked good today training. Ricky said, gee, she's a handful, eh? She's got about 2 months less experience than anybody else in the barn. She's still learning. So I was very happy with Trafalgar. Time I'll dazzle. She was tired finishing up, but she did her work. Once I got her in the hunt, she was all business. Swooped them down the backstretch, 3 wide around the last turn. Took over the lead when effusive run and drove away from them. Looked really, really good. Time Al-Kazam had a real problem with the track day. He didn't run. He was just rough a lot. And I told them his hobbles when I come out. I said, his hobbles are a little long. He'll be okay. No, he wasn't. He needed a tighter set of hobbles and not an icy track. He slips a bit with those flip-flops on, and we need to be very careful of that. Time went through those. Yours, if you want it, looked really, really good. Not shocking. He's been really, really good. Utopian got a suspect drive today. Kind of Colt went with the man. Colt's a good kid. He's got a good set of hands, but doesn't understand exactly what is going on all the time. Moved the horse to the outside in like 2.5 wide lane and just sat there and let him advance. I said, down to the rail next time. No leaving the rail. Give the horse a chance to catch his breath. And at least he worked well today, and Utopian looked really good. Watch F made a break on me today. 2 breaks today. But I wasn't surprised. He's learning how to stretch into those hobbles and is doing a very good job of it. Trained awesome the other day. Trained pretty good today. I was very happy with him. Wiggle Delight. James was very enamored with this filly. He said, how can't she be good? She's a Better's Delight filly, sister to Mr. Wiggles. How can't she be a good filly? Okay, I agree. She's a nice filly. Looked really, really good on the end of the mile today, too. Paul, if you're watching, we'll send you the video. James was very impressed with your filly. Willpower Fashion. Mario kept asking me, who's he by? Who's he by? I said, this is a very nice colt. This is one of my favorite horses in the entire barn. I love Willpower Fashion. Always have. My boy Will and I. So, Will... Ooh, don't lose those. Will trained good today. I know I won the training set. I don't know how fast or where Willpower Fashion finished, but I know he looked awesome on the track. His head was a little high. I wish they had let it down, but he looked pretty good. So Willpower Fashion was good. Zeb's Sunshine. James said, perfect. Hung up perfect. We changed his equipment. Looks good. Feels good. For those of you that saying, he looked a little off. His hocks were weak. He had OCDs taken out. But looked very, very good on the track today. They just have to strengthen up. Now he's starting to look like the horse we had. I see him pin his ears, and I saw him bite the other day at the groom. That had better come to an end, because I thought he was a gelding, and he's not. He's a stud. And there'll be no more of that biting at people. And if he ever happens to grab somebody over the gate, that will be the day he will be a gelding. Right then, right there. And I told the groom that too. I said, hey, if he's getting worse, let me know. I don't want you getting bit or kicked or hurt, because this horse wants to be bad. He's sharp, he's feeling good, he's doing his work, but there is no place for that in the barn. And I don't want to geld him. I will if I have to, but we'll see how that plays out. As far as her horse on the track, looked tremendous today. Very happy with Zeb's Sunshine. What about 75 horses in 27 minutes? Could have been an auctioneer, maybe. Missed my calling. Anyway, that's 28 minutes. Sorry, 28 minutes of the babies. You get through them all. Told you from the outset, the ones that look great today. Mover of the week, easily Forged in Fire. Looked fantastic. The usual suspects look great again. Very happy with that. Our list of horses, I would say, are very talented. Continues to grow. It was around 40, 30, 40. I said, no, those are some nice horses. There was 45, 47, 48. We're up over 50 now horses. I say, no. That horse got talent. This horse got away to the track. I'd say there's 10 in the barn that I would say have it. My phone flat out crashed. It said phone is too hot from camera, and it crashed. So I put it on an air conditioner and froze to death for a couple of minutes, and it come back on. Wasn't really saying much anyway. We were done. Finished all the babies, finished all the burns, finished everything, and did it in record time, I believe. So, I'm happy. You should be happy. We had a pretty good week at the races. I wouldn't say great. Decent week at the races. A little optimistic. We got some horses that are leaving that are not going to be very effective for us. Not the end of the world. We have some horses getting ready to qualify that hopefully will be effective for us. The horses that are racing are holding their own also. But today it was the babies. Babies look great. As I said, our list of horses has grown exponentially. That horses that I would say have a lot of talent. Horses that pique my curiosity. Like a horse like Forged in Fire. Didn't look great till today. certainly did afterwards. And then you got a couple other horses that look really, really good also. This thing's rattling, something fierce. Anyway, that's it. That's all the videos we have for today. Not a lot of time, a lot less time than it usually took us. I'm on my way to Flamborough right now to race Dancing on my own. Then I'm off to Mohawk to race Mystical Mission. And then I'm allowed to eat and maybe get something to sleep. I've been going since 7:30 this morning, so it's what it's like this time of year. Gets a little taxing. On the 18th, I'm off to Australia. Curtis got a pretty cool idea about maybe droning when I'm in Australia, and then I can give live commentary. It would only be the middle of the night for me. Who cares? It's only me. So we might do that also. I don't know if I want to come right back in a week. They missed 3 or 4 days. They might need a week. Just a quiet training, you know, smaller sets, Saturday, Wednesday, and then come back with them the following Saturday. Maybe I won't be here. Maybe I'll ask somebody to fill in for me. And we'll see how that works out. So I don't know what we'll do, but today went pretty good. I will tell everybody, for the horses that made breaks or didn't look as good as you hoped, please, I know you all want to have the best horses in the burn. You want them to look great every single week. The reality is they don't. Most horses don't look great every week. Most horses have their good weeks and their bad weeks. You know, Johan made a break today. So if you're the owner of Hometown Boys or Johan or Really Blue Chip or Watch Av or any of the other number of horses that made breaks, just step back and take a look what was going on today. These horses didn't make breaks because they were bad. Make breaks because they were trying to do their work the best they could on a half-mile track that was a little snowy. There's nothing wrong with a little adversity in life. I was very happy with the way everybody behaved and acted today. And if they didn't act good, they're well on their way to acting good. So as I said earlier, sometimes the best way to learn how to do things right, do it wrong once in a while. So, I'm not concerned. You shouldn't be concerned. It was a great day of training. Hopefully a great day of racing, great night of racing tonight. Lots coming up next week. A lot for me the week after and the 2 weeks following that. But for the stable, things are looking pretty good. I'd like to thank everybody again for your quick payment and getting the checks in there. We're going to have the same talk next month and the month after. It's a lot of money to go out and these stake checks. To write a check to a staking company for $93,000. It's a big deal. So, thank you very much for all your help. Thanks again, everybody, for sending their payments in. So, for me, for everybody at the burn, for all the horses, little Adeline, Ava, Ollie, and Mommy, talk to you guys soon.